the fourth-ranked Volunteers host Arkansas. Good afternoon, I'm Bob Carpenter. Welcome to the stadium where the Vols have won 10 consecutive. They've also won 10 consecutive regular season games overall. That's how good they've been in the SEC. And they have a very good quarterback as well, a sophomore Heath Shuler, who right now is number 2 in the league in passing, 168 yards on the ground and 558 through the air. Tim Foley with guys like Shuler and Eric Zier, the freshman over at Georgia, some pretty good young quarterbacks in this league.
When you look at Shuler's high school statistics, it makes you think, but is this guy really from Krypton or what? Maybe his parents found him in a field wrapped in a blanket. He threw over 70 touchdown passes, ran for over 30, high jump, 6 foot, 6'9". I mean, just a great athlete, a good leader, and has directed an offense that scored every time it's got inside the 20.
And he's got 3 very good tailbacks, a triple threat. In fact, these 3 are 1, 2, and 3 for the Vols in rushing.
Well, last year, in Tennessee, you're always going to have a good running back. Last year, they came up with Hayden and Stewart, true freshmen. Charlie Gardner now comes in out of junior college, and the competition that he's provided the youngsters has actually made them all better.
Todd Kelly on defense will be very rude to Lunny Jr., the Arkansas freshman quarterback today. Razorbacks have to take care of the football and catch it. They didn't do it last week.
Well, they've had a difficult time. They've struggled on offense. They're trying to simplify. Lunny, the true freshman, is getting his first start, but they've got to run the ball on Tennessee to stay in this football game.
Joe Kynes, the new head coach, can spin a yarn or two. We certainly found that out yesterday when we talked to him about how his team will dig its way out of this 1-4 hole.
You know, if you're digging a tunnel out of the mountain, you'd hardly know where you are. You're just swinging the pick. You may be right at the end fixing to break through, or you may be right in the middle, and it may be a long way to go. But all I know is keep swinging the axe and keep swinging the pick, and the tunnel's going to eventually burst out into daylight. And we're not too far away.
Today could be a breakthrough day for the Razorbacks, but a lot of things have to go their way here in Knoxville. The Hogs and the Vols coming up. Arkansas. Mose Phillips is back to receive it, along with Ronald Davis. Razorbacks will let it go. And at about the 2-yard line, it is J.J. McCleskey. He's a little scat back who does a lot of things on both sides of the football for the Volunteers. And they'll have it right about at the 19.5-yard line as Heath Shuler, the sophomore from Bryson City, North Carolina, will lead the offense. He goes 6'3", 208. He's completing 53% of his passes so far. 5 touchdowns, only 2 picked off. And a trio of great running backs behind him. And he will give it to the tailback, James Little Man Stewart. He's got about 5 or so out to the 24-yard line. Third freshman banged up just a bit against Cincinnati a week ago. On 2nd and 5, it's James Stewart again. Razorbacks pile it up pretty well around the back, and it'll be 3rd down and 4. 3 wide receivers in there for Tennessee. Well, look out to the left side. The ball is caught. A wrestling match as Corey Fleming was wrestled by Orlando Waters, and it's very close to 1st down yardage. That one took some 2nd and 3rd effort.
Well, there's going to be some controversy on the sideline on this call. A couple of officials there, and they got the 1st down. Good call by the official. Let's see if it's going to be hard to see from this angle. Good quick pass there by Shuler, and Waters right on him, trying to hold him off. Tennessee wide receiver does an excellent job of extending the ball past the 1st down mark. Now it's 1st down Volunteers.
Stewart again. He's out over the 35-yard line. James Stewart, they call him Little Man, but he's the tallest of their 3 tailbacks at 6'1", 195. A flag on the play, lying at the 36-yard line. And the way the Razorbacks are reacting, it appears to be against Tennessee.
Arkansas with their talented players on defense. As you see Kendrick Jones there talking to Randy Sanders, the wide receiver coach, and Johnny Majors back on the sideline. There's Phil Fulmer. This is the first year in 10 years I've seen him on the sidelines. Of course, he was the acting head coach as John Majors was recovering from major heart surgery.
So make it a 2nd down and 18, and a little Outside pitch it goes. Mose Phillips angling out to the right side near hash mark to the 29-yard line. Volunteers allowed the Razorbacks to penetrate some, and then he just shuffled it straight ahead.
And Mose is the best receiver of the fullbacks for Tennessee. Good call here. Obvious passing situation, but they're not putting the ball at risk. And, it was a play almost like that Phillips scored a touchdown against Florida.
Faulkner and Dutton up to the top of your screen. It's 3rd down and 11. Big rush on. He's got to dump it off to the fullback. Out over the 40-yard line, and getting tripped up from behind is Stewart. Left-footed kicker Tom Hutton. Orlando Waters was not expected to return kicks today. And that's not a very good one, an end over end. It'll go straight out of bounds to the right. Arkansas Razorbacks will have a freshman quarterback, Barry Lunney Jr., as they take over with good field position after the short 25-yard punt. And his give is to the single back, Jeff Savage. Barry Lunney Jr. out of Fort Smith. They like his confidence. He replaces Jason Allen, who had left knee surgery last year, and they think Lunney is more versatile. They lost a yard on 1st down. Deep back has it. Same man. And meeting the ball carrier is Reggie Ingram, the middle linebacker. Offense. On 3rd and 3. Up to the right side, cutting it up. 1st down yardage over the 45. And again, it's Jeff Savage. He had his best day on 15 carries against the Bulldogs last week. A neck injury to Jeff Tullis puts Shane Bonham into the picture up front. Todd Kelly is mean at right end. 18.5 career sacks. The linebackers led by redshirt freshman George Kidd. And a very experienced secondary. Jason Parker and Tracy Smith each have 2 interceptions. J.J. McCluskey, though, the tempo setter throughout the week in practice and on Saturday, says Johnny Majors. And a quick 1st down for the Razorbacks to the 47-yard line. Angling off the right side is Oscar Malone, the A-back. That's the fullback position. Malone, a 5'9" freshman out of Gadsden, Alabama. And replaced at quarterback is the sophomore Jason Allen. Throwing this year for 49%, but he hasn't been real mobile. He has a brace on his left knee. They know it's affected his mobility after he went down last year after just 6 ball games. 2nd down and 10. Lunney will audible at the line of scrimmage. Not easy to do in this stadium. Look out, he's got to get rid of it, and he hangs it up there. And it's a little bit too far, intended for Cotto Cotton, the backup split end. Good quarterback pressure by guess who? Number 58, Todd Kelly.
But Joe Kynes is selected to start out with 2 tight ends against Tennessee and Jeff Savage at a single back. Then they'll bring in the fullback occasionally. They're trying to balance out Tennessee's defense, give the freshman quarterback an opportunity to call the directions in terms of the play at the line of scrimmage. He feels like he can handle that responsibility.
Arkansas only 21 out of 77 on 3rd down this year. Lunney with time. Now he's out of time, and they sack him. Shane Bonham from left tackle, the first man to touch him. Bonham will get his 3rd quarterback sack of the year.
Bonham's from a transfer from the Air Force Academy. Grew up in Fairbanks, Alaska. He had time to get that ball off. Just coverage by Tennessee didn't allow him to stick it in there. And Bonham, who, as you mentioned, is playing for the injured Jeff Tullis, makes a sack.
Pete Rather, the Arkansas punter. This is a beauty. Craig Faulkner will watch it, and he will field the ball inside the 5, trying to come to the near side. And the Razorbacks will knock him down inside the 2-yard line. Willie Johnson on special teams. What about that choice, Tim, on fielding that punt?
Craig would like to do that again. You know, he's a very intelligent player, good wide receiver, but that one he'd like to have back.
A 50-yard kick. More coming up after a word from your local stations. Advantage here. They have not scored a touchdown. offensively since the fourth quarter of the Alabama game. And coming across the line and touching a Razorback was Shane Bonham from left tackle.
We're talking to Larry Marmee, who is the defensive coordinator here now at Tennessee.
Head ball foul, offside, defense, first down.
Now, he's been very pleased with the progress of the young players. They graduated 9 starters last year. So, I mean, that's a lot of people to replace. And one of the returning starters is out, Roderick Lewis. So there's 10 guys out there that really didn't play a starting role last year. And they really can't afford to lose anybody at this point.
Razorbacks can do some things here on 1st and 5, and they will go to the air. Right down the middle. Lunny has Botkin as tight end inside the 15-yard line. Kirk Botkin, his 15th reception of the year, leads the Razorbacks, and he'll be up over 100 yards for the season on a very good throw from the freshman quarterback.
Botkin had more catches last year than any tight end since 1981. Good job by Lunny avoiding the rush. Talking to Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator at Arkansas, he said that they had to get it to the tight end down the middle on Tennessee's double zone. They had to be able to penetrate there.
A 31-yard gain. First down at the 11 of Tennessee. Angling his way back in, Jeff Savage down to maybe the 7. Arkansas has not been able to put the ball in the end zone in quite a while. They have only 2 touchdowns rushing, 3 passing this year, and that was 3 games ago against Alabama when they got that last offensive touchdown. Miami has blocked a field goal attempt and leads Penn State by a touchdown early. 2nd down and 7. Ready to throw quickly out to the left side, and nothing doing there. His intended receiver was Tracy Caldwell. Tracy Smith was the man on the coverage with quarterback pressure by Ben Talley, the right side linebacker.
And a great job by Tracy Smith. Defensive backfield coaches are now starting to back their defenders off. He is not in bump and run. He's off. He's got good vision, quick set by the quarterback, and he attacks. There's no way that's going to get in there to Caldwell. Good job by Tracy Smith.
And there's Ben Talley wrapping around the quarterback.
Not much time.
3rd down and 7, and we've got whistles as this play got underway. And Arkansas has called a timeout, evidently. E.D. Jackson, who is coming in as the B-back. There he is, number 8, the 202 senior who goes only 5'10". Called a timeout, and the Razorbacks will talk about it. That's how crucial they consider this situation as they try to punch one into the end zone.
You see Houston Nutt talking to the quarterback there, and Barry Lunny. They're talking to Greg Davis, upstairs. Greg was the former head coach at Tulane. He's the one that brought in this new offense that they're trying to revise a little bit. They're trying to shape it more to the talent that they have.
Houston Nutt, a former Oklahoma State quarterback and a former Volunteer. Sideline duty today, back to Bob Kessler.
You know, before the game, Barry Lunny spent a lot of time with Dick Burleson, the official, just on crowd noise. And the rule is, if they can go ahead and play and the referee thinks he can hear the signals, he'll point him up to the line of scrimmage. If the crowd is too loud, they will quiet it down twice. The 3rd time, they'll take a timeout away from the team, the defensive team. And if still that doesn't quiet them down or they're out of timeouts, then it's a 5-yard penalty.
What'd you say? 3rd down and 7. Quick count. Lunny a time. Not anymore. He's down back at the 15-yard line. Shane Bonham with his 2nd sack of the day. And Todd Wright, the great senior from Arkansas, will check in to try the 3-pointer.
Good pressure by Bonham, but great coverage by the secondary at Tennessee. Plenty of time to get that ball off, but the youngster, Lunny, just had no place to go with it. Does the intelligent thing, doesn't put the ball at risk, and now Wright has an opportunity for an easy 3.
31-yarder. He's only 4 out of 10 this year, but that one is stroked through in good fashion. That's the first one he's kicked between 30 and 39 yards. He had not kicked a field goal longer than about 26 yards this year. So the Razorbacks go out on top with 3:28 to go in the first quarter.
First half, Arkansas has the ball 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line.
Broken play, nobody back there for the quarterback, and Lunny will run out of bounds after a gain of a yard or so. Razorbacks started at their own 35, the Tennessee 47, their own 47, and now the 23.
They've got a couple of young quarterbacks at Arkansas. Barry Lunny is one of them. They also recruited a young man named Mike Cherry out of Texarkana. Really more of an option quarterback, though. Lunny's more of the true passing variety.
And talk about a busted play. Flags all over the place. Everybody moved, but the ball stood still. Yeah, they really like Cherry. They have Doyle Preston, a redshirt freshman out of Texas. Better days ahead for the Razorbacks.
Dead ball, snap infraction on the offense, 5 yards.
Now, if you're going to do that, you should snap the ball, but the ball never left the ground.
Good fake, Tommy Jones. That's it. Draw those guys offside.
Second down and 13, second Arkansas penalty. Motion man, Oscar Malone. Good penetration by the Volunteers, but they swing it out to the right side. And Jeff Savage is taken down quickly. Steve Session came up from left corner. A senior out of Natchez, Mississippi.
In the secondary, of course, the whole defense is inexperienced. You really can't point out one part of it that's especially inexperienced, but, you know, they're really inexperienced in the secondary. A true freshman playing weak safety. Lunny gets rid of the ball. Savage almost drops it, then grabs a hold, and Sessions is there to make the play. He's from Natchez, Mississippi, and earned his starting job back after injuring his knee.
Lunny with time, intercepted. It looks like Ben Talley on the near side. His second interception of the year, and the Volunteers come up with a big play on defense. They will be inside the 16-yard line of Arkansas.
Barry Lunny looking for it over the middle. 5 defensive backs, and that's just looking too long in the same spot. Ben Talley makes the interception, makes the catch, and heads back upfield. You know, Danny Ford's philosophy on offense has always been, just don't lose it on offense. Do what you can to help win, but don't lose it. Don't give up field position. That's what happened there.
Tennessee with good field position for the first time. Feeling his way inside the 15, down to maybe the 11. That's 24, Aaron Hayden, who spells Garner and Stewart at tailback. And when they get down in that orange zone where they've been perfect this year, they really like Hayden because he takes care of the ball. He's very consistent.
And you know who else they like, Bob? They like Heath, Schuler. They like to load that defensive end and let Schuler run with the ball.
Second down and 6. He rolled one way, looked back the other way. And his wide receiver is down inside the 5, Corey Fleming. The Volunteers are trying to make it 21 out of 21 inside that orange zone this year.
Great hustle. You're going to see the tackle out there hustling Mike Stoll to get people wiped off him. Bubba Miller out there. The ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage, so the offensive lineman can be downfield.
15 of those 20 touchdowns inside that orange zone. In the eye. Keeper by Schuler. He was tripped up by Ford and dives down to the 2. Henry Ford with the reaching arm tackle.
Schuler has scored more touchdowns himself than Arkansas has scored this season.
5 passing, 6 on the ground.
They like it down here. He's a big fella. He's a tough runner. He's not like a regular quarterback. This guy could play linebacker too. And they like to load the defensive end. That means load the person that's responsible, block the person that's responsible for the quarterback on the option, and then he takes it in.
Personal foul on Arkansas at the end of the play. They'll go half the distance. And the Volunteers will have second and goal from the 1. Three running backs. A wishbone look by the Volunteers. And into the end zone is Aaron Hayden. There is a flag laying in the end zone, or is it just debris from the crowd? Evidently, it's just debris that came down from the fans behind the end zone, and Tennessee stays perfect in that attacking zone this year. We will get an announcement.
Coming on the right side. Chapman steps up there to take it on and shuts it off. Long coming around the outside, but he fought his way in.
The touchdown is good. 5 yards on the kickoff.
Offsides on the defense. So there was a flag among all the debris.
That was a flag. I saw the guy pick the flag up. I think you're going to put that debris in his pocket now.
John Bexford is the kicker. He's 20 for 20 this year. So like his offensive team, trying to go 21 out of 21. Little problem for a moment on the hold, but Lance Wheaton got it down. So on the 1-yard touchdown run by Aaron Hayden, Tennessee takes a 7-3 lead 4 minutes into the second quarter. First down, a pass tipped by the Razorbacks. Tennessee's had some great baseball players through here. Mark Whitten, Glenn Allen Hill, major leaguers with Cleveland. Jeff Kent, Ryan Thompson, major leaguers with the Mets. And of course, Phil Garner.
What's baseball?
That's the sport that they play in between football seasons.
That's the sport that smart people play.
Second down and 10. Schuler, options left side. This one is out over the 40-yard line as Aaron Hayden carries it. He's cracked down hard by Darwin Ireland, the weak side linebacker. Dean Peavy, the right corner, helping out. A flag on the play. And it's laying back at the 34-yard line.
It was Craig Faulkner blocking Tyrone Chapman. And Craig would like to get out of the spotlight here right now. But that's where the flag was thrown. Got a
Illegal block during the run on the offense.
Cracking back, you got to keep it. John. That was a great shot of John pleading for an explanation. You see it come into your picture right there. You got to get up high. You can't be down that low. And they made the call, and that was it. Good hit by Peavy at the end of that.
Johnny Majors. What an unusual week for him. Back when he had his surgery, his longtime friend, Tim Karen, the Tennessee trainer, passed away at the age of 44. He and Johnny have been together for 19 years. That was a real blow to the coach, and he acknowledges now that the death of his close friend and the heart problems that he went through really have sort of changed his perspective.
You can see the shamrock on the back of the UT players in honor of Tim Karen, who was the head trainer here.
On second and 21. Ball is out to the left flat. And we're looking for Kendrick Jones out there. And on the defense again, Dean Peavy. He's a sophomore out of Montgomery, Alabama's Lee High School. Former city player of the year, and he redshirted last year after transferring to Arkansas from Troy State.
Actually, he started at Arkansas, transferred out, and then came back. And they say he's the quickest player that they have on the football team in terms of agility.
They're down in 21 for the Volunteers. Deep in their own territory. They'll go with the draw play. And that one was smelled out pretty well by Scott Long as he took down Mose Phillips, and they boo the play selection here at Neyland Stadium. Well, maybe they wouldn't boo so much if the kicking game hadn't been so poor today. Now, Tom Hutton did have a 48-yarder his last time, but look what the average is for 4 kicks so far. Orlando Waters back at midfield, and the Razorbacks should come out with good field position. This one hangs up for a long time. Taken at the 37, and no chance for a return on a kick that hung in the air for almost 5 seconds of hang time.
You know, it's an awfully young football team, this Tennessee team. They replaced 7 starters on offense and 9 on defense. And as Miami pulls ahead there, 10-0 on Penn State, one of the things that they have to deal with is if these kids are reading the newspapers, and in the newspapers they say they're number 4 in the nation and they're great, and sometimes the kids start believing it.
And there's also a 4-letter word coming up next weekend. Bama.
Right.
Trying to stay focused on this game and not think ahead to the Crimson Tide. There's Savage again, juking his way over the 40. Tell you, when this guy gets going, he's tough. He's just a sophomore. He goes 6'2", 216.
Well, they're doing a nice job on the left side of that line, too. Chris Oliver, number 75. Ray Straczynski, number 74. See how Oliver hustling downfield, wide receivers working downfield.
Savage was rated the best back in Texas by many a couple of years ago. In fact, he almost became a volunteer. Sets up a 2nd and 1. Money changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Quick out, right side. That's Ron Dickerson Jr. So a guy whose grandfather played for Arkansas throws to a guy whose father was a pretty good player. Ron, a senior, of course, the defensive coordinator at Clemson now. Ron Dickerson.
Great player at Penn State. He was with the Dolphins and came down to Miami after the college all-star game. So that goes to show you how old we are. Ron Sr. And unfortunately broke his leg, and that kind of ended his professional career, but he's been a great coach, and his son certainly is a credit to he and his wife.
Very exciting young player is Dickerson Jr. Lunny hangs in there, hangs it up. Dickerson has it. He is into the end zone. He outfought Tracy Smith for it. Lunny was under unbelievable pressure, and it's a 50-yard touchdown pass for the University of Arkansas.
Mental lapse on the part of Tennessee's defense, and a tremendous effort by Ron Dickerson Jr. How he got this far, he pump fakes it. Tracy Smith bites on the hitch. Lunny throws it up in the air as he's getting drilled. But Smith is beaten badly. Tries to knock the ball out. Great concentration by Ron Dickerson Jr., who spent 2 years as a running back and exercises some of his former strutting getting into the end zone. Great catch, big play for Arkansas.
And the Razorbacks call a timeout as they were trying to get organized for the extra point. That can't help. Now there's Dickerson out fighting Tracy Smith. And he'll do a little high step in here for the last 5 yards or so, as Dickerson has his 3rd receiving touchdown of the year. A 50-yard shocker that has Hog fans wild here in Knoxville, and the 95,202 a little quiet. Hogs with their first touchdown offensively now in 10 quarters since the 4th quarter of that Alabama game.
Joe Kynes has to be feeling good about the way his team is playing. You know, he said, just try to do the best you can today and let tomorrow take care of himself. You know, he's got all these questions about the head coach and who's going to be the head coach and what's going to happen. He says, hey, well, I don't have time for it. I'm trying to get these kids ready for this week. We're just going to do the best we can today and let tomorrow take care of itself.
Todd Wright for the extra point. Allen the hold, Cornish the snap. It is right down the middle, and Arkansas, with 5:37 to go before halftime, has some big things brewing here in Knoxville. A 10-7 lead as they finally break that touchdown-less streak of theirs and get the ball into the end zone. Second down and 6. Malone ever busy angling over the 30-yard line. He had to get out to the nose of the 33 for a first down. Razorbacks will have third and short yardage with 1:15 and counting in the second quarter. Arkansas on top, 10-7.
Larry Marmy's done a great job with this Tennessee defense, and is second in the SEC in defense, as young as they are, 6th in the nation in scoring defense. And there are really no superstars on the team. Of course, Todd Kelly, you can call him a superstar, but they're just a bunch of young guys scrapping and trying to stay alive. He's molded them together. Third and short.
Full house back there on 3rd and 2. Look at the strength straight ahead of Oscar Gray. His first carry. How about this for a running back? 6'2", 242. He's out of Smiley High School in Houston, where he was a linebacker.
And he is a powerful runner. Look at this. Great job of getting movement up front by that Arkansas line. Burrow Mitchell in there, number 72. And then just a good job of powered leg drive movement by that fullback. Look at Jason Allen on the sideline. The quarterback encouraging his teammates. That's great to see.
First down and 10. Savage out to the left side. He gets outside. Look out. Gets a good block at the corner. And he's down into Tennessee territory inside the 46-yard line. Arkansas, with 10 seconds to go, may be able to pull a long one out here, a sideline pattern of some sort, and give Todd Wright a chance to increase that lead at halftime. But, Tim, they don't want to do anything crazy. They will be ecstatic to go into the locker room up by 3 at Tennessee.
Trying to get a little closer. Wright has the leg to put it in from a ways out. He's just been having problems with accuracy. And the tight ends for Arkansas have been doing an excellent job of hooking the Tennessee defensive ends and giving these backs the outside to go to.
Well, Savage, after that slow start, now has 56 yards for Joe Kynes on 8 carries. Kynes has been in the league before. He was an assistant at Florida, 79 to 84. Defensive coordinator at Bama, 85 and 86. Then to Tampa, the NFL. He knows this league very well. Lunny looking sidelined at the 30. He's got Dickerson. And with 3 seconds left, they'll have a chance to try a long field goal of about 48 yards or so.
Give it a whirl. Good call by Greg Davis. The line turned and blocked left. Lunny drifted to the outside and put it right on Dickerson's chest at the sideline.
They will mark it 48 yards from the goalpost on the near hash.
Last week he missed twice wide right. He missed earlier in this game wide right. Finish that swing, hook that ball in there.
It's long enough and it looks perfect. And that one was drilled at the end of the first half. Arkansas leads it 13-7. Todd Wright with a 48-yarder. That ball would have gone over and through from 60 yards or so. He killed it. And a big surprise here in Knoxville.
Nice job by Wright, keeping his concentration, follows through and knocks it through.
He knew it. It's 13-7 down to the sidelines. Here's foul.
Coach, congratulations on a great first half, but it's only halftime, right?
It's only halftime, and we're doing a few too many things, stuttering around, hurting ourselves. We got to settle ourselves down. When we do, we can play. We just got to take care of Arkansas.
Big left from your kicking game today, though.
Kicking game's doing well. We're moving the ball. When we don't, shoot ourselves in the foot. So we got to go reload the gun.
Coach, congratulations on the first half, but there's 2 halves to play. Tennessee, this is a shocker right now. The Arkansas Razorbacks with an impressive first half, leading Tennessee 13-7. Back with our halftime activities from Knoxville in just a moment.
Back to Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee, and it is a surprise at halftime. Arkansas has outgained Tennessee on the ground, in the air, and total yards, and leads at 13-7. Bob Carpenter, Tim Foley, your thoughts on a very exciting first half for the Razorback folks?
Yes, it is an exciting first half for them, and they did it on defense. They shut down Tennessee's running game. There's a team that's first in the SEC in rushing, 13th in the nation, that rushed the ball 23 times for 39 yards. They forced them into must-pass situations, and Tennessee's just not mature enough to handle that yet.
Field position had a whole lot to do with it early, as Arkansas kicked well, Tennessee did not, and the Razorbacks broke out on top as Todd Wright hit from 31 yards with 3:28 to go. That's how the first quarter came to a close. In the second quarter, the Volunteers took their only lead of the day as Aaron Hayden capped a short 15-yard drive. After an interception, he went in from 1 yard out.
Great job by the right side of the line here for Tennessee, getting some movement, and Hayden takes it in. That touchdown was set up, as you mentioned, by an interception.
But the young quarterback, Barry Lunney, came back strong shortly thereafter as he hit Ron Dickerson Jr. on a 50-yard touchdown reception. Unbelievable pressure, and he got the ball off to Dickerson, who made a great play.
With Bonham attached to his chest, Lunney lets it go, and Dickerson makes the catch over Tracy Smith and takes it in for the score.
With 5:37 to go, second quarter, 10-7 Arkansas, and then at the gun, a 48-yarder by Todd Wright. It was set up by a great Lunney to Dickerson pass that gave them a chance to kick the field goal. 3 seconds on the clock. Here we go, second half of play. Arkansas will kick it off, and the ball is taken and run straight out of bounds back at the 14-yard line. Arkansas with the edge in first downs, rushing yards, passing yards, total offense. A little less time of possession, but so what? And they had the only turnover of the half.
Exactly. There's an important statistic in the first half. 13-7, Arkansas. And the most dramatic statistic is 39 yards rushing for Tennessee. They need to change that in the second half if they're going to stay competitive in this game.
They've changed back to Heath Schuler at quarterback. And out to the 19-yard line, Charlie Garner. Not much on the ground for the Volunteers in the first 30 minutes of play here this afternoon. They have a 10-game home winning streak on the line. They have a 10-game regular season winning streak on the line here today. Second down and 5. And carrying people with him is Mario Brunson, the fullback. Tyrone Chapman hung with him to make the tackle.
And Arkansas has been doing an excellent job of tackling people here this afternoon. In watching tape to prepare for this game, you saw these Tennessee backs breaking a lot of tackles. Well, they've broken some this afternoon, but when they did, there was just a lot of hustle and convergence on the part of the Arkansas defense, and there was somebody else there to grab a hold of. These guys have been close to breaking a long one a number of times this afternoon.
James Stewart, Mose Phillips checking in for Tennessee on third down and 2. Quarterback option. Late pitch. Ball is on the ground. It is still loose. And who has it at the 10-yard line? It looks like Tennessee kept the football on a late pitch. But the Vols with it will have to kick deep in their own territory.
They try to get Arkansas over-shifting to the wide side of the field, thinking pass and third down. Schuler throws it back. Mose Phillips just doesn't find the handle on it. Darwin Ireland misses. Waters is there. A bunch of white shirts. How did Tennessee end up with that ball?
Tom Hutton will have to kick from his own end zone, and again Arkansas will have good field position. Orlando Waters is out around midfield. He takes it at his own 48. He doesn't want to lose yardage here. He'll go outside. If he turns the corner, and he'll get down to the 42, maybe the 41-yard line. Arkansas with great shape again. A 40-yard kick, 8 on the return. And they take over leading by 6 in the first minute, 43 of the third quarter.
There you see Joe Kynes, and some people criticized him for bringing in Danny Ford. What'd you bring him in for? He said, "That's in trouble, man." And when you're in trouble, you call on your good friends, and he's not trying to replace anybody by bringing in Danny Ford. He's just trying to save everybody's job.
Well, they had a spot open on the coaching staff.
Right.
There's Lunney for Savage. Forget it. He was chased by Reggie Ingram. Early in the game today, Ingram hurt his shoulder, but he's back strong on that first play of the second half defensively for the Volunteers, number 41.
Of course, Greg Davis, with Greg Davis as offensive coordinator, the offense is in capable hands. And sometimes, if the players lose confidence, it's not a bad idea to bring in somebody else. And there's Danny Ford, the youngest coach ever of a national championship team at Clemson, and he just hard-nosed, knock him off the ball kind of guy, and that's the attitude this offense needs.
Second down and 10. Lunny looks back, nobody behind him. He wobbles one out. And his tight end, Kirk Botkin, has it. He's been a busy man today, receiving the football, playing with a bruised shoulder.
And Botkin's done a fine job of blocking. You see him in the slot here. And they're using him a lot as a wide receiver today. One of the problems they had last week, Bob, was that people just weren't catching the ball. The one thing they know about Botkin, he may not elude a lot of people after he catches it, but he's going to catch it anyway.
Botkin, 5 catches, 47 yards. And the Razorbacks face a 3rd and 7. A first down here could set a good tone for them early in the second half. Lunny with time, swings it out, and short of the first down, Oscar Malone is pulled down. George Kidd, the right outside linebacker, staying right with it.
And a great play by George Kidd. The redshirt freshman playing here. They run the short back, the weak back short option, and he can go either way. And Kidd drives him to the outside and then chases him down. He was a tailback last year, got great speed, kept him from getting the first down. But now it looks as though as Arkansas is going to go for it.
On 4th and 3. It's a short 3. They have to get to about the 31.5-yard line. Malone's got it. He was tripped up, falls ahead for the first down.
Do you want to give it to Malone or give it to Isaac Davis?
James Wilson, 72, the left end, tripped him up. But then nobody could finish off the second effort of Oscar Malone. Ben Talley was helping out. Ray Strashinsky, the left guard, 74, slow in getting up for the Razorbacks.
Watch this now. They give it to the micro man, Oscar Malone. Good job of blocking. Tennessee gets there, gets him going the other way. Talley knocks him back the other way. Then Isaac Davis arrives with his 300 pounds. And there was only one way Oscar Malone was going to fall. That was forward.
And left guard Tony Nagy, a redshirt freshman out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, is in there. And straight ahead they go. E.D. Jackson, the B, back on the carry. He hasn't been as active today as we might have expected. Savage has done most of the tailback work. Jackson a high of 167 yards in the season opener against the Citadel. And he was a very damaging loss that was for Arkansas.
And he's been their leading rusher for the last 2 years. And they're just trying to bring along some of this young talent.
Second down and 6. Jackson again. And he squirms his way inside the 25. They'll mark him on the 23-yard line, and the Razorbacks will be left with a 3rd and 3, maybe a short 4.
Chinsky comes back in the game. And Arkansas is also playing without their leading running back, Tony Jeffrey.
Yeah, hurt his knee against Memphis State. He'll have surgery, out for the year. They will try to get him a medical hardship. Razorbacks will apply for that with the NCAA. 3rd and a short 4. Fake pitch. Forget it. Right there is Todd Kelly to greet the freshman quarterback, Barry Lunny.
That time they were bringing Talley on the inside. Kelly was upfield. They didn't go for that fake. Good play by Todd Kelly, staying at home and making the play on Lunny.
And Arkansas will go to the kicking game again. Todd Wright, right in the middle of the field after Kelly's big play defensively, will try a 36-yarder. A 48-yarder right at the gun in the first half. And this one is perfect. He has really stroked those last two, and he's 3 for 4 on the day. That makes it 16-7 Arkansas. 9:28 to go, third quarter. We'll see what the Volunteers of Tennessee, 5-0, can do offensively when we come back. Now, they were planning on having a little pork for dinner here tonight, but they haven't been able to stick the fork all the way into the Razorbacks so far. Volunteer fans waiting for some offense. Their team trails by 9. 9:28 to go, third quarter. Bob Carpenter, Tim Foley, our JP Sports crew, and a shocker so far here in Tennessee. And that one is way out of there. That one really launched into the end zone by Lance Ellison, the Arkansas kickoff man. Joe Kine's defense back to work as Tennessee now trailing by 9. They'll try to get something going offensively here in the third quarter. Heath Schuler still in there at quarterback. Corey Fleming out to the left side. He's got 2 men to the bottom of your screen. Backs are in the eye. And the deep man, Charlie Garner. There's some of that breakaway speed as he rockets out to the 36-yard line. And the Razorbacks may have gotten a little too dirty over by their own bench. Gary Adams followed him out of bounds, the free safety, and then a flag was thrown.
Great move by Garner. I think he can get the outside. I think Tennessee can take the outside the same way Arkansas has been taking it on them. They've been trying to stay inside with it and work on the cutback, but I think they can get to the outside.
Personal foul at the tail end of this play by the tailback.
Good job by Mario Brunson. PV hustling. Gary Adams gets there. And, you know, it looked like he'd left his feet, actually, but it looked worse than it actually was.
First down for the Volunteers. They'll be across midfield at the 49 of Arkansas. Officials will take a timeout here and talk about it.
Here, Gary Adamson, he makes contact and he looks like he falls a little bit, and then boom, people go down.
That may have been the penalty right there.
Yeah.
A little elbow action from the sideline guys. Schuler across the middle, inside the 30-yard line. On the receiving end, Corey Fleming, and the Volunteers answer in big fashion that question we asked about what they would do offensively down by 9.
Fleming breaking across the middle. Ireland back. Good vision. But Fleming comes all the way across the field. Waters with him. Beautiful throw by Heath Schuler. Good concentration by Corey Fleming. Big play for Tennessee.
Fleming, 5 catches, 46 yards. There's Garner again, the tailback, but corralling him from behind was Kevin Kemp, the middle linebacker. He talked about Mick Thomas earlier, Tim, and he, of course, had led the Razorbacks at that middle linebacker position each of the last 3 years. And so Kemp, following the tradition, has led the Hogs in tackles this year. Had a dozen of them against Georgia last Saturday.
He sat out last year, actually didn't play football, and Joe Kine said it took him a while to get his feet back under him, but his legs back under him, but he's playing well now.
Former JC All-American at Ricks out in Idaho. And getting away from a man is Kendrick Jones. He's down inside the 11. Jones had a touchdown catch last week at LSU.
It's a pattern that Florida loves to run, a very effective pattern, and they get Schuler on the move. Gives him more time to throw it, and they sit Jones down, and they run the bow out in behind them. Arkansas in good shape. Cornerback's got to make the tackle. Nice job of running by Jones to shake PV and pick up the additional yardage.
First down for the Volunteers at the Razorback 11. There's the option. Pitches behind Garner. He had to make the adjustment and make sure they didn't have another disaster out on that corner like they did on their last possession. That has the crowd buzzing a little bit. All over the stadium, they're saying that option doesn't look real good right now.
Just a little off here. Schuler lets it go, and he has a little bit of trouble handling it. But Garner, when he gets the ball, he's upfield right now.
They did manage to gain 2 on the play. 2nd and 8. Didn't get a first down without scoring. Garner has it again. Jitterbugs his way inside the 5. Darwin Ireland, the weak side linebacker, on the stop.
Tennessee now 21 for 21 once they get inside the 20-yard line. And they like to run it. I think only 2 of those touchdowns are passes. When they get down here, they like the ball to be in the hands of the quarterback, Schuler.
3rd down and 3. Schuler options. He will keep it. He will score. Henry Ford missed a tackle, and Heath Schuler did the rest as he runs for a touchdown for the 7th time this year.
You just can't think of this guy as a quarterback when he's got the ball. He's more like a fullback. Just powerful legs. Look at this play. It's stopped, nullified. Henry Ford has him. He shakes him loose. Long can't adjust in time. Then runs over Owen Kelly to get into the end zone.
John Bexford for the extra point. These guys are unbelievable when they get inside the 20. You just can't keep them from scoring. That will get them back to within 2. So with 6:57 to go in the 3rd quarter of play, Tennessee moves the ball down the field in a hurry. Schuler takes his time and gets it into the end zone. 16-14, a word coming up from your local station. Here come the Vols offensively. This is just where they started that last drive. Play action by Schuler. Left side, it's complete. Out to the 39-yard line, Corey Fleming.
Schuler sure has the arm to get it there, and he gets good protection this time from his offensive line. 59 Stoll and Bubba Miller, 71 Spivey, the center. Great job of protection, and he has a rocket. This is to the wide side of the field. Boom.
He's now 10 of 15 for 104 yards. Scrambling ahead. Look at Charlie Garner across midfield. Garner will go up around 50 yards on that carry. Stewart has 32, so the tailbacks are becoming a force as well.
Defensively, you don't want your people to take them one at a time, and that's what happens here. Good pursuit, can't make the play. Finally, somebody catches him from the rear, and Alfred Jackson jumps on. Johnson hustling to get there.
Kevin Kemp, the man he did the 360 on. There's a good-looking option. And a very good tackle. Tyrone Chapman was apparently tied up by a blocker, and he was still able to take down Garner.
Tyrone Chapman used Greg Faulkner to tackle Garner. See this here, they run the option. Ray Lee pops Heath Schuler, and now Garner has the ball, and Tyrone Chapman ran Faulkner right into Garner. Good play, Tyrone.
2nd down and 3. Long count by Schuler. Couldn't throw it the first time because Ray Lee Johnson jumped up right in front of him and blocked his view. Then he had to eat the football.
And an exceptional job. Waters was just waiting for that. He was sitting there, and Darwin Ireland moved to the outside, and he would have had that ball going the other way. Good decision by Keith Schuler. He pulled the ball down and took his lumps from Junior Soley. Good decision. Nice decision. No way that's going in there. Darwin Ireland is standing right in front of the receiver. And boom, 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 boom.
Tennessee has called a timeout here, facing a 3rd and 1 just outside the 40 of Arkansas with 3:04 to go, 3rd quarter.
And there's the brain trust, Johnny Majors in the sport coat. Randy Sanders, the former quarterback here. Phil Fulmer next to him. Charlie Coe, the running back coach, talking it over with Dave Cutcliffe, who's upstairs. He's the man that's telling Phil Fulmer what's going on and what the defenses are and where the lines are. He and Fulmer have worked together for a long time here at Tennessee.
for the camera shaking. But in this stadium, when they play Rocky Top Tennessee, there's no real way to keep the cameras very still. What a great place for college football. When the stands rock, our guys in the gondolas rock as well. Now down at the left side of the stadium, to our left, they're talking about building another deck down there. There's the one at the right side near the river. They're talking about enclosing the other end of the stadium and adding about 13,000 more seats. That would make Neyland Stadium bigger than the Rose Bowl and more capacity than Ann Arbor, Michigan. 3rd and 1 play. Looks like the Volunteers will move the chains again with the quarterback leading the way.
Miami scores again, 17-7 over Penn State.
They play one heck of a schedule year after year. Miami criticized sometimes for some of their scheduling, but they've never really ducked any of the big boys. Beat Oklahoma on a regular basis in the 80s for national championships. And that one never got there. Corey Fleming, the intended receiver.
Fleming running with Orlando Waters down on the near side of the field. Waters close. Arkansas playing excellent defense. Has done a superior job of throttling back this Tennessee running game.
2nd and 10, 2:42 to go, 3rd quarter. Tennessee down by 2. They'll run the option again. Garner, and taken down from behind. Great pursuit by Tyrone Chapman.
Tyrone Chapman used to be a nose guard in high school, and he's not really that big. He's only about 215 pounds, but this is why they have him play here. He can run. Whoop. I got you, Charlie. You're coming down to the ground with me.
You know, it's not like he caught him from behind. He got right in between his shoulder blades to make that tackle. He outran the ball carrier. 3rd down and 11. Screen. Faulkner taken down from behind. Owen Kelly, the nose guard, stayed home and got it.
What's he doing there? You know, if you're the offensive coordinator, that's what you're thinking now. What is he doing there? He wasn't supposed to be there. We had this play set up. Faulkner was going to go for 20 yards. Watch this. Great call. Ingenious play design here. Look at this. This looks great. Well, look at Owen Kelly respond. This is hustle, man. I mean, most guys, they'll stand up. No, I did my job. I didn't get the sack. He turns around and sprints back. The future doctor, Owen Kelly, makes the play.
John Bexford is in there. This will be a 53-yarder just inside the far hash mark. Lance Wheaton, the holder. Mark Holland, the snapper. It is straight. And it is over the crossbar. The longest of his career. He had a 46-yarder against LSU last week, but this one goes over from 53.
That kid got a second wind from someplace. It didn't look like it was going to make it, and it made it by the width of the ball.
Well, you get half of that 95,000 at the other end blowing that ball over the crossbar. And a 1-point lead.
This guy's been the Iceman for them. He just doesn't miss. He drills it out there, and it looked from here like it was going to fall short. Just made it over. 53-yard field goal for the young man. Great kick.
John Bexford, a sophomore out of Chattanooga. A 44-yarder last year, his longest. 46 last week against LSU. He's getting longer as he goes. 16, Arkansas trailing. Pete Rather will have to kick it away. Faulkner waiting to receive it. And trouble with the snap, but he gets it away. An end-over-end kick that drops at the 36. Faulkner will go straight ahead for about 8 yards, and Tennessee will have good field position. The third quarter stats will look different than the halftime stats. Tennessee has come back to get within 14 yards in total offense. They're very close in evening things up with passing. rushing as well. Those were much wider disparities after 2 quarters than they were after 3. Arkansas had only 7 rushing yards in the 3rd quarter. Schuler will change the play. Give it to his tailback. Garner inside the 45 of Arkansas.
Let's watch Mario Brunson lead the way. Bubba Miller, Jeff Smith on top, Rodney Gordon, and just solid, hard-nosed running by Charlie. Look at this, man. Kemp can't get rid of the center and get into the action, and then Garner runs through a few folks.
Look at that stat. Total yards almost 100 different. Fullback has it. After blocking, Mario Brunson gets a carry and gets the ball down to the 35-yard line. Brunson doesn't carry the ball much. Came in with only 26 rushes in their first 5 games. 6'1", 245 out of Portsmouth, Virginia.
And when you have the tailbacks that they have at Tennessee, they use him as a counter punch, but mostly they use him as a sledgehammer to clear the way.
A very wide one. 2nd and 5. They'll fake to the tailback, and Schuler will throw it out to the left side. A bullet at the 25-yard line for Craig Faulkner. Many quarterbacks cannot throw the ball that well while running to their left.
I think this Rassler can throw it good if he was sitting down. Boom, he lets it go, and he gets hit. Nice catch by Faulkner. He's got great speed and great hands.
First down inside the 25. Schuler to the tailback. Garner. A couple of Razorbacks were knocked down to the ground there. Getting up, Darwin Ireland, Kevin Kemp. They took those middle linebackers out pretty well. And look at this. Vanderbilt, a non-conference game with Wake of the ACC, and the Commodores down by nearly 3 touchdowns. Second down and 4. Garner again. Down to the 17. They need to get just inside the 15 for a first down. Tim, now becoming a factor, the amount of time that Arkansas defense is again spending on the field. Second half, they've been out there most of the time.
Yeah, obviously, you can't get your team wired up every week. And Tennessee emotionally was not really ready for the challenge that Arkansas presented in the first half. But I'm sure that John Majors and all the coaches gave them a wake-up call in halftime. And now they're looking like the Tennessee team that we've seen on film.
Volunteers in that orange zone again. And there's a carry for a first down by Mose Phillips. Phillips out of Nashville. He was an option quarterback at Hillsborough High School, a former Tennessee Player of the Year. So he's used to feeling his way along that line and finding the openings.
Yes, and he's a receiver best, but he's developing into a runner, and it would be a lot easier for Arkansas to hang on to the momentum they had if they weren't surrounded by 93,000 people that were for the other team.
First down from the 13. Schuler looking to the right side. A low bullet. Well thrown to Corey Fleming. And he was bumped out of bounds quickly by Orlando Waters. Going to throw that sideline pattern.
They're doing as good a job defending against that as I have seen. Waters does a fine job, and he's getting help from Ireland. You're going to see Ireland show up in this picture as he retreats, forcing the throw back to the inside, and then Waters drills him. Great job by Lewis Campbell and Joe Kynes and Fitzhill, all that defensive staff at Arkansas.
Second down and 6. Volunteers out of the eye. Schuler rolls left. Looks inside the 5, and he's got Kendrick Jones. Dean Peavy defending him. But as well as Schuler is throwing the ball on the run, there's not much Arkansas can do.
if Jones gets selected on this, the job is to beat the tackle and get into the end zone. Peavy hanging back prevents the throw to the corner of the end zone. Now reacts up. Boom. And this time he had missed a tackle earlier. This time he grabs a hold of Jones and takes him to the ground. Beautiful play by Dean Peavy.
3 men in the backfield on 3rd and 1 for the Vols. Mose Phillips has the first down, and he's down very close to the goal line. They will be inches away from scoring for the 23rd time this year inside that red zone in 23 attempts. Of course, here they call it the orange zone, but this will be a first down run.
And when you got to find it, you run behind your preseason All-American, Mike Stoll, who they moved from guard to tackle. And you run behind Bubba Miller, number 71 there. 290-pounder. They get some movement, and now you get 6.
Tennessee dominating offensively. Schuler coming up with it. And the Volunteers are into the end zone once more. They have completely taken control of the football game now. And an extra point would put them up by 7 with 10:28 to go.
And they put away their fancy clubs and got their driver out and just are hammering at them.
No problem with that kick as Jason Bexford drilled it through. Now they lead by 8, 24-16.
There was no fancy stuff on this drive, just good hard-nosed, straight-ahead football for Tennessee.
Here in Knoxville, by 8, Tennessee leads now with 10:28 to go. Bob Carpenter, Tim Foley, SEC football, and a 17-point second half for the Volunteers. They've outrun Arkansas 79-7 since halftime. Joey Chapman's kick, a couple of yards deep in the end zone. Oscar Malone wants to bring it out, and he will make it to the 20, maybe a yard further, and that's where the Razorbacks, with 1 second half first down, will take over. Let's check in downstairs with Bob Kessling.
It's loud down here. This is Sam Birchfield of the audiology department. What are you testing down here, Sam?
We're testing the noise levels during each play.
Each play, what's the loudest it's been so far?
On the Bexford field goal down there, it was over 110.
Is that dangerous to your health?
As you can see, you can't hear.
Malone up the middle. Oscar over the 35-yard line and an Arkansas first down. That'll send the meter down a little bit. A 16-yard gain on first down for the freshman A-back out of Gadsden, Alabama.
Straczynski is back in there and does a nice job on with Tommy Jones and Isaac Davis of opening up a hole. And let's see what happened on that play. Watch this noise level go down.
Tim, you can call him Ray, okay?
Ray, I'm going to call you Ray, Ray.
Ray Straczynski. Malone again. What a good play that was. Oscar Gray was blocking, and Shane Bonham said, okay, try to block me. I'll just reach up with the big paw and trip up the ball carrier.
There's Shane. As we mentioned earlier, he transferred from the Air Force Academy, sat out last year, and was actually an end at the end of spring practice, but they needed some help at tackle. They slid him inside, and he's been playing in there with Polis and Surlis.
Tennessee, its usual third quarter dominance this week, although they gave up points for the first time this year. Savage is stopped by J.J. Surlis, the right tackle. On 3rd and 9, nothing much for the Razorbacks. They'll have 3rd and long coming up as Surlis did the job in the middle.
J.J.'s dad, Tom, was an all-SEC linebacker at Alabama in '71 and came in here and played some as a true freshman in '88. Then had knee surgery, almost quit football. Fortunately for the Volunteers, he stuck with it, and it's paid off for him.
Single back with a wingman. 3rd and 9. Lunny out to the right side. Good catch over the 45. It should be a first down as Marius Johnson made a very good adjustment to that ball.
That was a great catch.
Johnson, just a freshman out of Austin High School in Houston. Only his second catch of the year.
True freshman. Joe Kynes thinks he's going to be a great back.
Florida State shooting it out with the Tar Heels today. And Florida State keeps on rolling. Seminoles with that win, now 5-1 as they rebound from the loss to Miami. 1st and 10. Savage feeling his way. He'll be out of bounds at the 48.
He looks injured when he's running with the ball. They ought to get Malone back in there. It's hard to see that. You know, he's trying to do the best he can with his injury, but he's certainly not attacking the hole at this stage of the game.
Boy, he is a big back.
And he's done a great job.
12 runs, 65 yards. 97 against Georgia last week. 2 tight ends, Popkin and Browning in there on 2nd down 8. Lunny under pressure, gets away, but then he runs into a blocker. He ran right into the back of Tony Nagy, and then the defense caught up with him. Watch number 68 blocking on the left side. Quarterback will eventually run right into the backup.
And Isaac Davis is having a real hard time handling Shane Bonham. Davis has an injured back, and I think it's limited his mobility. And Shane is just making a lot of penetration on that defensive left side.
What a big play this is for Arkansas. Lunny sacked from behind. James Wilson got him. Sacks by that front of Tennessee today.
Well, the defensive line coach here in Tennessee is Sugar Bear Ray Hamilton, who had played a number of years with the New England Patriots, and he certainly has done an excellent job bringing these young defensive linemen along. Wilson takes it to the inside and puts a hammer on Lunny.
Pete Rather on the kick. A wobbly spiral that'll carry. Fair catch called for. And Faulkner lets it go, but he gets a great bounce. The Razorback kicker does. And they'll down it inside the 10 on a ball that hung in the air for better than 5 seconds. A 53-yard kick. Volunteers have it with an 8-point lead. Well, Arkansas got the kick it needed. Can they get the defense or the turnover they need? Volunteers at their own 7. Schuler to the tailback. Garner out over the 15, over the 20, and big yardage on first down. Johnny Majors has it going his way now. You know, he was at Arkansas back in the mid-60s. We asked him what it means to play the Razorbacks here today.
I learned so much from Frank and from that staff that it was invaluable to me when I went on to head coaching at Iowa State. We won 21 straight games. We won a national championship. Things were good. We were paid well. We had nice homes. We played a lot of guys. But we worked hard and we won a lot. And the Razorback fans are great. It was a wonderful experience. Now, that's all out the window when we play against them at Tennessee. But it was certainly meaningful in my coaching development because I was exposed to one of the best programs in the country.
Under Frank Broyles, Barry Switzer was on that staff. Johnny Majors, his 16th year here, his 25th year overall after great success at Iowa State, put them in bowls for the first time ever. And then a national championship, of course, at Pittsburgh in 1976 when Tony Dorsett, or was it Dorsett, took him to a 12-0 record. He became Dorsett after that. Big comeback by the Gators at halftime. They lead LSU 14-13. Duke all over the Pirates of East Carolina. Boy, some of those ACC teams are playing well today. Wake was leading Vandy 20-0 at last report. That ACC getting better all the time. First down for the Volunteers. They've moved it out to the 35 now. There's the fullback, Mario Brunson. Volunteers want to chew up some time now. The clock runs down to the 5-minute mark.
Charlie Garner's really looked good this afternoon, and Brunson's done a great job blocking for him. Up over 100 yards. He was the first back to get 100 yards for Tennessee this year when he picked up 104 last week against LSU. So that makes 2 in a row for him. And that offensive line has really come to life.
Second down and 9. There's Garner. And a good play in the backfield as Henry Ford got him with some help from number 80, Scott Long.
And there goes Charlie's 100 yards. That looked like about a 3-yard loss.
Back into double figures.
Good penetration there by Long. I'm telling you, Owen Kelly and Scott Long have given this Tennessee offensive line more trouble than they've had all year.
Joe Pate, assistant head coach at Arkansas, coaches that defensive line. 4 minutes to go. 3rd and 14. Schuler on a keeper. A flag has been thrown as he gets out to nearly midfield. But there's a penalty flag back at the 31-yard line.
I got Tennessee for holding on this one. That's what Dick's about to tell us. There you go. But that's a tough play. You get into man-to-man underneath coverage to try to stop the throw, and you've got all the backs covered and everything is fine. All of a sudden, you got a guy that's a quarterback come blowing out of there with fullback in front of him and can wreak havoc in the secondary.
Yeah, the offensive holding, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
Now, John's been around long enough to know that although Tennessee has held on to the momentum the whole second half, that this is only an 8-point game. I mean, you're just one long pass away and a 2-point conversion away from getting this thing tied up.
Boy, this really helps Arkansas to get the ball back. It's now 3rd and 24. 3:36 to go. That penalty cost them about 27 yards. Schuler will run the same play, and he is cracked down big time by the field cornerback Orlando Waters. So the Vols will have to kick it. The Razorbacks still have a chance.
This time they run the same play. Get a little cross blocking up front, and here comes Schuler at you. Watch Orlando Waters scoot back into the thing and just cut his legs out from under him. Great play by Waters.
Here's where Tennessee needs a big kick from Tom Hutton. Orlando Waters standing at his own 40-yard line. Arkansas should come out of it with good field position and plenty of time. A wobbly spiral. It's got some good carry to it at the 29. Waters loose on the near side. He cuts up in midfield. He's inside the 30. And he will go into the end zone. A 41-yard kick and a 71-yard return. And Arkansas has a chance to go for 2 and tie it with 2:28 to go.
What we say about only being a touchdown away? Great hustle. Waters has been close before. He ran one back against South Carolina earlier in the year. Bennett just couldn't get enough of him. And then it's just a fine job of blocking by Arkansas. Cuts back on the kicker. Tavio Henson can't get there in time, and Orlando Waters goes into the end zone, and now it's 2-point conversion time. Or are they going to go for 1? Nope, 2.
They really have to go for 2. They might not get the ball back.
Yeah, at 2:28, you have to go. You have to go here.
It only takes about a first down or 2 to beat you once the clock gets down. Arkansas still has 3 timeouts remaining. They are going to tie, at least try to do so, on this play. Lunny. Sack! Todd Kelly was there. George Kidd was there. And it'll stay a 2-point game.
Great play by Kidd. He came through. He exploded through there. Barry Lunny didn't have a chance with this one. See Kidd coming through the gap. Nobody picks him up. And bang, down they go. 6 Tennessee sacked today.
4:22 Tennessee after the electrifying play by Waters as he took it inside his own 30.
Nice catch by Waters. Good blocking, good hustle by Arkansas to set this thing up, and he cracks it. The hardest thing you have to do as a head coach of a team that hasn't won is to convince them that they can win. If they don't expect to be ahead, they aren't going to be ahead for long. Arkansas showing a lot of character, fighting back after a quarter that was really discouraging. Lunny just doesn't have a moment to get this ball off. To find somebody open. Good pressure by the Tennessee defense as George Kidd blitzes through, and now it's onside kick time.
Wright sets it up. He gets a bounce, and Arkansas has it. It looked like number 16, Darwin Ireland. Arkansas has the football with 2:27 to go.
Oh, it's so much fun being a coach. Don't you love your job, Bob? I'm glad we're up here. Great job by Todd Wright. This gets this one on the ground and gets this one rolling just up in time. Boom! They can't get the handle on it, and big play man Darwin Ireland from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, comes up with the ball.
It was J.J. McCleskey that missed it. Ireland got it. Here's Malone on the running play. He's across the 50. Volunteers tackle him in bounds, and we've got a flag down at the 45 of Tennessee.
They got a holding penalty on Arkansas, but let's take a look at this. JJ, I hated the onside kick return team. That's why. Because if you catch it, everybody takes it for granted, and if you don't, you got a good chance of being the GOAT.
And also, if you catch it, you get creamed.
Yep. Ireland comes up with a big play. From Pine.
We have holding, 10-yard penalty against the offense during the run. First down.
Razorbacks don't need that.
Nah.
2:18 to go, though. They have plenty of time. They have all their timeouts, 3 of them remaining. Danny Ford, Joe Kynes working that sideline official. First down and 17. Lunny has to step up, nowhere to go. The guy that busted the play out on the outside was Todd Kelly. And that set up his tackles to finish the thing off. Another flag. And a procedure penalty against Arkansas.
There's Danny Ford. He hasn't felt the way he feels right now in a long time. You know, he's been at Arkansas now.
Procedure, not enough men on the line, on the offense. Penalty is declined. Second down.
He's been in Arkansas. Last week he just got there. He's just getting his feet on the ground. Well, now he's been around a little bit, so now he's obviously more personally involved. And
under 2 minutes to go. Second down, 18 for the Razorbacks. Draw play. Savage can't get outside. Tripped up by J.J. Surlis.
great play by Surlis.
Timeout, Arkansas.
Both he for Tennessee, Surlis and Bonham and Long and Kelly for Arkansas have been exceptional on defense. Just great hustle. The ball is by him. Zoom. He goes upfield. Savage is by him. And Tommy Jones is working on him, and he spins around and finds the football. Super job. Great leadership there.
Well, here in a place that seats 95,000, Tennessee has been so dominant. At Neyland Stadium, they have a 10-game home winning streak. Their last loss to Notre Dame back in the 90s season. That, of course, was right after they went to the Cotton Bowl and played Arkansas and beat them 31-27 the previous January. They also have won 10 consecutive in regular season play. That's pretty amazing considering the week-to-week strength this league throws at you. But it's all on the line here this afternoon. A much tighter one than Johnny Majors hoped for.
And regardless of how tight it is and how much stress and pressure they're under, John would rather have those headsets on the sideline than be doing anything else.
Third down and 16. Malone in motion. time. Down the middle. Caught!
Catch!
Tracy Caldwell inside the 40.
Oh!
And don't forget, Todd Wright earlier today kicked a 46-yard field goal. They don't need to go that far to get into his range.
About that time, they double-teamed Todd Kelly to make sure that he wasn't going to get in the play. And that Lunny just let it go. He didn't care if there was a crowd. 22 yards, zipped down the middle. Good throw. Good coverage by Tennessee, but just a perfect throw.
First down with 1:15 to go. Draw play. Savage. Just inside the 35-yard line. They're very close to field goal range right now. They've got two timeouts remaining. They'll use one of them here with 1:06 to go. Arkansas can conceivably run 2 more running plays, call the timeout, and pretty much try the field goal from where they are on the field right now. It would be a little more than 50. They'd like to gain a few more yards, obviously. But they have this thing very much within their grasp with 1:06 left.
See Johnny Majors on the sideline with John Chavis. He's got the mustache on the headsets, and Johnny talking to him upstairs. He's talking to the offensive people. He probably isn't going to get the ball back, as you pointed out, unless they call some timeouts here to keep Arkansas from running the clock. So make sure they've got some time left after a successful field goal drive.
Yeah, that's the problem. If Arkansas runs it down, Tennessee will have to save those timeouts to get the ball back and try to move down themselves. A lot of things have to happen between now and then.
Well, I think that if you're Tennessee, from a strategic coaching standpoint, you got to count on them making the field goal.
Second down and 8. They'll keep it on the ground with Savage. He'll make the turn, and he will get out of bounds at the 30 with 1 minute to go. Now they're within range of a 47-yard field goal.
Actually, this is good for Tennessee that they're able to drive Savage out of bounds. Look at Botkin doing it, just doing a super job as a tight end on Talley. And Tracy Smith hustles up there to knock him out of bounds.
There's the man, Todd Wright, the senior, out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. Third down and 4.
Tennessee has to make a play here on defense. They got to keep them from getting this first down. Suck up, cornerbacks.
They'll throw for the first down, and they've got it. Ball is complete to J.J. Metters. Now check it out on the left side. It was number 9, Tracy Caldwell.
Said suck up cornerbacks because you knew that hitch may have a chance of being thrown. Arkansas wants to run the clock down. Tracy Smith did a fine job. He was all over Caldwell. Caldwell makes the catch, and Smith holds on to make the tackle.
They're within range of about a 41-yard field goal now. Savage will keep it. They'll get him at the 25-yard line. Reggie Ingram, the middle linebacker, wrapped him up, and the clock will run inside 30 seconds. They'll huddle up now and line up quickly. Second down and 10. Now they'll look to get that ball between the hash marks as Savage is wrapped up. And with 6 seconds to go, Arkansas will stop it.
Give the Arkansas players a lot of credit. It looked like they were going to be driven back to Fayetteville in that third quarter. Their special teams, which really hasn't been a benefit for them all year. Their special teams have really hurt them, at least in the film that I've seen. Against South Carolina, they did all right, but against Memphis State, 3 block punts last week, a couple of missed field goals, and just not good coverage. Their special teams have come to life and been a real benefit, a real boon to them, and now it's down to a field goal. So they fought their way back. On the other side of it, Tennessee has really woke up in the second half. They started to play like a team that was ranked number 4 in the country, and now it comes down to a field goal block rush. Now, Tennessee has blocked one this year, and I think it was Talley that...
Alone, nobody within 5 yards of him. His holder, Jason Allen, will kneel down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a 41-yard attempt with 6 seconds to go, and the game on the line. Tennessee leads by 2. And now the Volunteers will ice the kicker and call a timeout of their own. They weren't going to be able to use 2 timeouts in 6 seconds anyway, or less, when the ball goes through. And that will be Tennessee's second. Johnny Majors will let Todd Wright pace and think about it.
Look at Joe Kines. Joe's smiling at him. Hey, Todd, no problem. Hey, man, just relax and have a good time. He's just trying to keep those muscles from turning into iron. Now, Joe's stomach, his mouth may be smiling, but his stomach is producing acid indigestion at a remarkable rate.
You think Johnny Majors would call one more here?
I wouldn't doubt it. Why not? I mean, the longer you have to think about it, the worse it is. He talks to Scott Conley. Joe talks to Scott Conley, the special teams coordinator. Johnny loves it. Been doing it for 25 years as an assistant at Mississippi State, assistant at Arkansas, then a head coach at Iowa State, coach of the year in Pittsburgh in 73 and 76, and then on to Tennessee. And Joe Kines getting his first taste of being a head coach after being an assistant for 25 years. Certainly not happy with the situation in terms of how he got the job, but now it's his, and he's trying to keep it.
Well, he is going to call that 3rd timeout.
Why not? If I was you, Todd, I'd go talk to Joe some more.
What a ball game. And what an effort by Arkansas. We had just about given them up for dead today when we were electrified by the junior out of Anniston, Alabama, Orlando Waters, who got the 71-yard punt return with 2:28 to go. They went for 2 and couldn't make it. So they got the ball back. And now they've driven it right up the field on Tennessee, and they've got a chance to win it. This is about all Joe Kines could ask for. Coming into Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, 95,000 in attendance, and a chance to win the ball game.
Joe's got to be happy with the performance of his true freshman quarterback, Barry Lunney. Barry's looking at him. He's smiling on the outside, trying to keep his young man relaxed.
Well, no more timeouts to be called, so here we go. It's close to that right upright, and he got it! 2 seconds to go, and Arkansas has taken the lead. It was very close to that right upright, and the officials right under the post said, yes, it is good.
Todd Wright, a lot of pressure. A lot of, I mean, there isn't any more pressure than this. That's all there is. And nobody was sure. Usually the kicker, if he knows it's good, is jumping up and down right away. Todd Wright was flat on his feet. He wasn't sure if this was going to draw back in or not. And it sure didn't make it by much, but it made it. 3 points, 25-24. Arkansas over Tennessee. 2 seconds left in the football game. They protect it. That's the first thing you got to do. Jason Allen, the former starting quarterback at Arkansas, gets it down on time, and then Todd Wright strokes it through.
We've seen Florida upset on this field. We saw Florida beaten by Mississippi State last week. This could be the upset to top them all, though. Tennessee, number 4 in the nation, coming in. They've got to get the ball and run it back for a touchdown on this kickoff.
Tennessee this year has had some games in which they were fortunate. They came back and they made some great plays against Georgia, forcing a fumble at the end of the game that prevented Georgia from having an opportunity to kick a field goal. This time, you know, Arkansas made their own breaks. Any given Saturday.
Todd Wright will squib it. Ball is picked up. They've got to get it in the end zone or the game is over. And the 45, the tackle is made, and Arkansas upsets Tennessee in front of a stunned crowd here in Knoxville. What a victory for Joe Kynes. He's got to be the sweetest feeling 2-4 coach in the country today.
Well, you hate that any of these coaches should ever have to lose. They work so hard at it, put in so much time, and they provide such a vital service for these kids. They're their best friends while they're at school, but somebody wins and somebody loses, and today it was Joe Kynes that won.
Well, let's go down to the sideline. Bob Kesling patrolling all day down there. And Bob, what an ending to this one.
Coach, talk about your emotions right now and how proud you are of this football team.
I tell you, I just thank God for the way these kids played. They hung in there all week. We worked hard. We could have gotten down after last week, but they didn't. Coach Majors and the Tennessee Club are a great football team. Our guys played hard today, and we're very proud of them.
Tennessee prides itself in the kicking game. You won that today, though.
Our guys worked all week on the kicking game, put a lot of emphasis on it, and when you work hard, it pays off on Saturday. We're just so proud of them.
What about your freshman quarterback? What poise?
Well, we said the other day, when David stopped in the middle of the stream, he picked up 3 rocks. We needed all 3 of them today. Well, he did a good job. He's going to be a fine football player. He's going to be a fine football player.
You know, the emotions of this game. Your team could have gotten down when Tennessee took the lead.
We grew up today a little bit. We grew up a little bit today. We became a little bit more of a solid football team. Let me get in there with them. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot. Joe Kynes, the head coach of the Razorbacks, a stunning upset for the Hogs.
They are stunned here in Knoxville today. It looked like it was all over when Tennessee took a 24-16 lead with 10:28 to go. But Arkansas got a big punt return for a touchdown and a 2-second remaining field goal, 41 yards by Todd Wright.
Arm strength, quickness, agility.
Ball is picked up. They've got to get it in the end zone or the game is over at the 45.